Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. We're back in the Formula Vee, back at Oulton Park Fosters for yet another track guide. If you are new to my channel, where have you been? But we do a hot lap, a breakdown lap, and then we're back in the cockpit one final time with the driving line on. I wasn't actually going to be doing one this week, but this was my quali lap from the Vee race that I did just before, and it was faster than the guide time, so I thought I may as well do a new one. Anyway, let's start the hot lap. Right, let's start the hot lap. So we're in fourth gear, and we're looking for these ad banners on the left-hand side. When we get there, we're going to do a lift, slowly build back up, and then mash that pedal down just ahead of the apex. We're going to head over to the right-hand side, and we're going to go absolutely flat here through Dentons, and then through turn 3 Cascades here. And at the end of these cones, we're going to brake hard for Fosters, drop it down to third, get on the gas at the apex. You can see quite a harsh trail off there on the telemetry graph. We're absolutely flat through Knickerbrook, and obviously flat all the way up the hill. Apologies for my Discord going off in the background, because I'm doing this very quick guide for you before I do another race. Right, for Druids, we're going to lift at the change in asphalt colour, back on the gas at the first apex, just clipping the apexes there. There's a little dip in them, and the V doesn't really like them, so try not to run it over them. And then the final braking zone is just before we get to the Marshal's hut, and we're going to brake hard. We're going to trail it off down to the apex, get on the gas. A little bit slidey there as I got on the gas, but was able to control that slide with the throttle. And over and across the line in a 110.691. And we'll do the breakdown in just 1 second. Right, breakdown. We'll thrash through this as quickly as possible. So, when we get to this Two Brothers Racing sign on the left-hand side, we're going to start our turn in, and we do a lift down to about 15%. As you can see, I'm just slowly building back up on the gas, and then I hit 100% just before I get to the curbing. And you're wanting to just cut the curb slightly. You can just about get away with touching the sort of brown mud there, but you don't want to go up over the grass there. Big jump, you'll die. And again, we start our turn in this little dip. We're going to go flat. I'm going to take some of the curb. And it's the end of these cones is going to be our braking zone for Fosters here. We brake up to about 85%. I'm going to trail it off. I drop it down into third. And you want to get really close to that no-cut curb. I actually just clip it, but it didn't actually unsettle my car too badly. Straight back onto full gas. And we're just absolutely flat through Knickerbrook. I just cut it very slightly, as you can see here on both of those. Hug it round to the left-hand side. As I say, just a lift in Druids, and luckily they have a change in asphalt colour here from the new track to the old. So as we get there, we do a lift down to what, 20%. We leave it in fourth gear. We're going to get nice and close to that curb without hitting it, and we want to be on full power as we hit this first apex of 8. And again, we want to be nice and tight to the second apex in 8. Again, not going into the little crack that runs down the middle of that. Final braking zone as we come into Lodge. So we see we've got the turn right sign, very helpful, and we've got the Marshal's hut number 22 coming up, and it's roughly halfway between the two of them. This time we're braking up to about 80%. I'm going to trail it off down to the apex, drop it down to third as I get onto the apex, and as I do that, I get onto the gas, onto 100%. Now I've got a whole heap of left hand down there. That was just because I could feel the back end going. So just arresting that with my hands and with the throttle. Exit nice and wide. And then hug it round to the left. And that is the breakdown. We have one final version coming up next with the driving line on. Without me talking, enjoy.